Good morning everyone. Today let us start the unit 5, that is communicating and perceiving. In this we are going to, the very first part of this 5th unit consists of introduction to NLP. So what is this NLP? NLP is nothing but the natural language processing, and it is also a part of computer science, human intelligence and the human language and the artificial intelligence. Till now in the last unit we discussed machine learning and different types of machine learning, and now NLP. What are all this? These are all nothing but the components of AI. The 3 types of machine learning, reinforcement learning, artificial neural network, are now what we are discussing, that is natural language processing. These are all nothing but the components of AI. So here this NLP, we know that it's a powerful technology now these days, that is called as the natural language processing, and it is also a part of computer science, human language and artificial intelligence. And it is a technology that is used by the machines to understand, analyze, manipulate and interpret the human's language. It helps developers to organize knowledge for performing tasks such as translation, automatic summarization, named entity recognition, speech recognition, relationship extraction and the topic segmentation. Means these are some of the applications where NLP can be used. And as I said, this is a part of computer science, human language and the artificial intelligence. Then before going to depth of NLP, let us see the history of NLP and when it started, what are the advancements made in this NLP. So it started in the year 1940 to 1940, and for 2 decades it was focused on machine translation. So this in the year 1948, the first recognized NLP application was introduced in Birkbeck College, London. And coming to after 2 years, there was a conflicting view between the linguistics, which we call as the scientific study of language, and the computer science. And at that time, Chomsky developed his first book, Syntactic Structure, and claimed that languages can be generative in nature. And in 1957, this Chomsky also introduced the idea of generative grammars, which is rule-based descriptions of syntactic structures. These rule-based structures and grammars, we already know that we learnt in automata and the compiler designs. Now that concept we are going to use in this natural language processing. And then 1960 to 1980, after 2 more decades, there are key developments were made in this NLP. Why? Because it was flavored with artificial intelligence, that is augmented transition networks, which is a finite state machine. You know, you have heard this finite state machine in automata, and it is capable of recognizing the regular languages. And there is also one more language called as the case grammar, was developed by Charles in the year 1968, and it uses languages such as English to express the relationship between nouns and verbs by using the prepositions. And then these are 2 other examples of this NLP, Strudlu and Lunar. Both are the examples of this natural language processing, and this is a program written by Terry. It helps users to communicate with the computer and moving objects. And the main importance of this Strudlu is that it shows those syntax, semantics and reasoning about the world that can be combined to produce a system that understands the natural language. And another example is the Lunar, which is a classical example of this natural language database interface system that is used with the augmented transition networks, and one more thing called as a Wood's procedural semantics. Okay, it was capable of translating this natural language expressions into database queries and handle 78% of requests without error. So these are the 2 advancements of this natural language processing with the help of AI. And then 1982 to till date, okay, what this language processing system were based on complex set of handwritten rules. That is, NLP introduced machine learning algorithms for language processing. After that, this NLP was introduced with machine learning. So in the beginning of the year 1990, the NLP started growing faster and achieved good process accuracy, especially in the English grammar. And that this nowadays the modern NLP consists of various applications like speech recognition, machine translation and machine text reading. So when we combine all these applications, then it allows the artificial intelligence to gain knowledge of the world. So the best examples for this nowadays with the help of NLP, what we are using is Amazon and Alexa. Now let us compare this natural language versus the computer language. NLP is nothing but a computer language. So what are the differences between this natural language and the computer language? So when we see, these are the some of the parameters to distinguish what is this natural language versus the computer language. So when comes to the parameter of this ambiguous, natural language are ambiguous in nature, but computer language, they are designed to be unambiguous. And redundancy, natural language employs lot of redundancy, whereas coming to the formal languages are less redundant. And next, literalness, that is, natural languages are made up of idioms and metaphor, whereas formal languages means exactly they want to say. That is what the difference between this natural language and this one. Okay, here we are using idioms and metaphor, but whereas these formal languages, we can mean exactly what they want to say, it can be said. Next, coming to the advantages of this NLP, why nowadays so many developers are using this NLP is, it helps users to ask question about any subject, and you are going to get a direct response within the seconds. And then it offers exact answers to the question, means it does not offer unnecessary and unwanted information, doesn't give. Whatever the question you ask, exact answer it is going to give. Then it helps computers to communicate with humans in their languages. Yes, and it is very time efficient, and most of the companies uses this NLP to improve the efficiency of documentation process, accuracy of documentation, and identify the information from the large database. If you want to extract information from the large databases, we can make use of this NLP to extract that information. And then coming to the disadvantage, complex query language is one of the disadvantage of this NLP. That is, the system may not be able to provide the correct answer if the question is poorly worded or ambiguous. If in a question, if it is not properly according to the grammar, given grammar, or if it is ambiguous, there might be a chance that it does not provide the correct answers to the user. Next, NLP system doesn't have any user interface, which lacks the features that allows the user to further interact within the system. Okay, and NLP is unable to adapt to the new domain, and it has a limited function. That's why NLP is built for single and specific task only. So these are some of the disadvantages of this natural language processing. And let us discuss the components of NLP. One is natural language understanding and natural language generation. First, let us see this NLU, which is natural language understanding, helps the machine to understand and analyze the human language by extracting the metadata from content such as concepts, entities, keywords, emotions, relations, and semantic rules. Mainly, this NLU is used for business applications to understand the customer's problem in both spoken and written languages. That is why you use this natural language understanding. And this involves two tasks, but it is used to map the given input into useful representation, one thing, and it is used to analyze different aspects of the language. These are the two tasks it involves, this natural language understanding. Next, natural language generation acts as a translator. It is generation, as the name itself indicates, it acts like a translator that converts the computerized data into natural language representation, and it mainly involves text planning, sentence planning, and text realization. So for these applications, generally we are going to use this natural language generation. And when we see this difference of this NLU and NLG, which is a component of NLP, it is the process of reading and interpreting language, this natural language understanding, whereas NLG is the process of writing or generating language. And other one is, it produces non-linguistic outputs from natural language inputs, but it produces constructing natural language outputs from non-linguistic inputs. That is what the other difference between this understanding and generating. Next, let us see some of the applications of this natural language processing. The very first application is question answering. Question answering focus on building these systems that automatically answers the questions asked by humans in a natural language. So in a natural language, if you ask the question, this NLP, with the help of NLP, the device can give you the answer. And then spam detection. We know this is one of the biggest problem, spam detection. when we have unwanted mails, okay, we have to classify it as spam or not spam. For that, with the help of machine learning model and NLP can be included to detect the spam. Next is sentimental analysis, which is also called as the opinion mining. It is used on the web to analyze the attitude, behavior and emotional state of the sender. Maybe many websites you have visited and maybe you have seen these emoji symbols, and at last you want to give a feedback to a particular product or review anything. So we can make use of these any emojis like positive, neutral, negative. So that is sentimental analysis. So sentimental analysis is one of the biggest research area. For that also we can use this, for that applications also we can make use of this NLP. And next one is the machine translation. The name itself indicates it is used to translate text to speech from one language to the another language. See here, you can see here the English language we have converted it into Hindi language. So that machine translation is also one of the applications for this NLP. Next is spelling correction. So Microsoft Corporation provides this word processor software like MS Word and PowerPoint. When we write something in a Word or PowerPoint, we will get some spelling corrections. So with the help of that we can rectify our spelling corrections also. Then speech recognition. It is used for converting the speech words into text, and it is used in applications such as mobile, home automation, video recovery, dictating something to Microsoft Word, voice biometrics, voice user interface and so on. But wherever with speech we are going to get some output, so we can make use of this NLP. This is also one of the application of this NLP. Next, chatbot. We know that chatbot, implementing the chatbot is one of the important applications of NLP. We write something, our device is going to respond to the queries what we ask. So that is used by many companies to provide the customer chat services. Maybe you have already used this chatbot services. Then information extraction is one of the most important applications of NLP. It is used for both extracting the structured information from unstructured or semi-structured machine readable documents. We know that most of the data is unstructured. From that unstructured data we have to retrieve something. So how we are going to retrieve that is with the help of NLP we can retrieve the data from the unstructured data. And natural language understanding, we already seen that it is a large set of text into more converts this large set of text into more formal representations like such as first order logic structures, that is easier for the computer programs to manipulate notations of the natural language processing. So this is also one of the applications.